Good morning students, welcome to the online video teaching from Sri Shankaracharya Vidyalaya. Hope this video will find you in top of your health and high spirits too. Today we are going to study about the physical features of India, Geography chapter 2. This will be the fourth part of your geography lesson, and we are going to discuss on this video the Peninsula Plateau. Earlier we have discussed about the formation of the Himalayas and the Gondwana land, and we have discussed about the theory of the plate tectonics. We have read about the major physiographic divisions on it. We have discussed about the Himalayan mountains, about northern plains. Now today we are going to discuss about the very particular and very important part of this whole physiographic divisions, that is the Peninsula Plateau. Lot of variations we will be studying through this video. You can see I have a slide for you, the Peninsula Plateau. This is a tableland. You can see tableland made up of the old crystalline igneous and metamorphic rocks, and the plateau has broad and shallow valleys around the hills. So plateau, this is the plateau. You can see some pictures which makes us clear and very conceptually very clear what kind of concept we are going to read on it. Now location, if you say about the location, this is India and location of the Peninsula Plateau. The Peninsula Plateau lies to the south of the northern plains of India. This is the northern plains and this is the south. This is the Peninsula Plateau. So, the Peninsula Plateau is the tableland composed of the old crystalline, igneous and metamorphic rocks. It is formed due to the breaking and drifting of the Gondwana land. The plateau consists of two broad divisions, that is the Central Highlands and the Deccan Plateau. So, let us read more about this in detail. The Peninsula Plateau, as you can see from this physical map, the Peninsula Plateau is flanked by the Aravallis. This is the Aravalli. On the northwest, the Ghats, that is the Western Ghat and the Eastern Ghat. In the Western Ghat and dissected Eastern Ghat in the east, the plateau ranges in an elevation from 100 meters in the northern side to 1000 meters in the south. This is the Deccan Plateau, and you can see that is the Central Highlands, Malabar Plateau. So we are dividing the Peninsula Plateau into two major divisions, that is the Central Highlands and the Deccan Plateau. So Peninsula Plateau, as we have said, the Peninsula Plateau consists of two divisions, the Central Highlands and Deccan. Now again the Central Highlands is divided into four parts, that is the Malwa Plateau, Bundelkhand, the Bahelkhand, the Chota Nagpur Plateau, and the Deccan Plateau with the Deccan Strap, the Western Ghats, Eastern Ghats and Northwest extension. These are the divisions. Now if we have a map like this, we can see the exact location of the Central Highlands, the Deccan Plateau and the Chota Nagpur, all the Peninsula Plateau consisting of the Peninsula Plateau. Now the Central Highlands. If we go in detail with the Central Highlands, you will see that the part of the Peninsula Plateau lying in the north of the Narmada River, covering a major area of Malwa Plateau, is known as the Central Highlands. The Vindhyan Range is bounded by Satpura Range on the south and Aravallis on the northwest. The further westward extension gradually merges with the sandy and rocky desert of Rajasthan. The flow of the rivers draining this region, namely the Chambal, the Sindh, the Betwa and the Ken, is from the southwest and to northeast, thus indicating the slope. And the Central Highlands are wider in the west but narrower in the east. The eastward extension of this plateau is known as Bundelkhand or the Bagelkhand. Now the Chotanagpur Plateau marks the farther eastward extension drained by the Damodar River. If we have a look with a map, that will be more clear. This one. Okay, just now we said about this, the eastward extension of this plateau locally known as the Bundelkhand and Bagelkhand. Then Chotanagpur Plateau marks the farther eastward extension drained by the Damodar River. See, this is the picture which gives the clear conception of this plateau. That is the Vindhyas, the Satpuras, the Aravalis, the Deccan Plateau, the Western Ghats, the Eastern Ghats, the Central Highlands and the Deccan Plateaus. This one area, Peninsula Plateau. Now the Deccan Plateau. We are coming up with the concept of the Deccan Plateau. So Deccan Plateau is a triangular landmass that can be seen from the picture also, Deccan Plateau, the pink one. It's a triangular landmass that lies to the south of the river Narmada. The Satpura range flanks its broad base in the north, while Mahadev, Kaimur Hills and the Mahikal range from the eastern extension. Locate these hills and ranges in the physical map of India. The Deccan Plateau is highest in the west and slopes gently eastwards. An extension of the plateau is also visible in the northeast, locally known as Meghalaya, and the Karbi Anglong Plateau and the northern Kachar Hills. It is separated by a fault from the Chotanagpur Plateau. Three prominent hill ranges from the west to east are Garo, Khasi and Jaintia Hills. We will go with the video slides. These are the Deccan Plateau. Just now we said what I dictated. Satpura range, which is broad base in the north, while the Mahadev, the Kaimur Hills and Mahikal range form its eastern extensions. It is higher in the west and slopes gently in the eastwards. Three prominent hill ranges from west to east are Garo, Khasi and Jaintia Hills. And the extension of Deccan Plateau is also visible in the northeast, locally known as Meghalaya, Karbi, Anglong Plateau and North Chachar Hills. These are some of the peaks which are concept of the Deccan Plateau. Rockies areas. So the distinct feature of the Peninsular Plateau is the black soil area known as the Deccan Trap. The Western Ghats and Eastern Ghats mark the western and eastern edges of the Deccan Plateau respectively. So we can have the difference between the western and eastern Ghats. That is one of the important question from this chapter. It comes often. What are the main difference between the western and the eastern Ghats? The western Ghats and the eastern Ghats mark the western and eastern edges of the Deccan Plateau respectively. Western Ghats lie parallel to the western coast. They are continuous and can be crossed through the passes only. We can locate the Thal, Bhor and Pal Ghats in the physical map of India. Often the question comes also with this, locate this physical, this Ghats part in the physical map. So it is important to locate it while doing the map. And the Western Ghat and are the higher than the Eastern Ghat. That is one of the important points. The Western Ghats are the higher than Eastern. The average elevation is 900 to 1600 meters as against 600 meters of the Eastern Ghat. The Eastern Ghats stretch from the Mahanadi Valley to the Nilgiris in the south. The Eastern Ghats are discontinuous and irregular and dissected by the rivers draining into Bay of Bengal. Whereas the Western Ghat cause the orographic rain by facing the rain bearing moist winds to rise along the western slopes of the Ghats. The western Ghats are known as in different local names. The height of the western Ghats progressively increases from north to south. The highest peaks are Anaimudi, then Dodabetta, and Mahendragiri is the highest peak in eastern Ghat. So other than this, there always comes the questions to locate this highest peaks also and famous hill stations. And the famous hill stations are Kodaikanal. One of the distinct features of Peninsula Plateau is the black soil area known as Deccan Trap. We said here also, I mentioned about the Deccan Trap over here. So one of the distinct feature of Peninsula Plateau is the black soil area known as Deccan Trap. This is the volcanic origin, hence the rocks are igneous. And actually these rocks have denuded over their time and responsible for the formation of the rock soil or black rock soil. The Aravalli Hills lie on the western and northeastern margin of the Peninsula Plateau. So these are highly eroded hills and found as broken hills. They are extended from Gujarat to Delhi in the southwest and northeast direction. So let us give another difference between the Central Highlands and Deccan Plateau. It is also one of the important questions which comes several times. Central Highlands, they lie in the north of Narmada River, and Deccan, they lie to the south of the Narmada River. They are bounded by Aravalli Mountains, Vindhya Range, Malwa and Chotanagpur Plateau. And they are bounded by the eastern Ghats and the western Ghats. The Chotanagpur Plateau marks its eastwards extension, and the Mahadev, Kaimur Hills and Mahikal Range make its eastern part. Its slope is from west to east, its slope from southwest to northeast. Here I have given another difference between the mountain Himalayan region and the Peninsula Plateau. It consists of the loftiest mountains and it is shallow valleys with the rounded hills. It is formed due to collision of Indo-Australian and Eurasian plates. It is due to the breaking and drifting of the Gondwana land. Here we find the highest mountains, peaks like the Mount Everest, Kanchenjunga, like this, and here we do not find such high peaks. It is the age of Indo-Gangetic plain. It is formed at the age of the Deccan Plateau. There are many well-known hill stations over here. If you say about the Darjeeling, if you say about such places very famous as Simla, Mussoorie, and no well-known hill station found in Peninsula Plateau. And it contains only a few minerals. It is the storehouse of the minerals. It's a very important line, storehouse of minerals. Whatever resources of minerals we get as useful for human beings are all the storehouse of minerals. We get it from Peninsula Plateau. The rivers that originate from the Himalayas are perennial, and the rivers originate from plateau are seasonal in nature. That is, they depend on the monsoon. Here I have given a difference between the western coastal plain and eastern coastal plain. Actually, we will be reading this coastal plain separately in another video topic, but still, because it is related with the Peninsula Plateau, I have given some points to be, it can be more easier to while you are reading later. The western coastal plain, it is between the Western Ghats and Arabian Sea. It is in the Eastern Ghat and Bay of Bengal. It is narrow plain with average range of 50 to 80 km. It is wide and level plains with the average width of 80 to 100 km. Drain is drained by the rivers like Narmada, Tapi, forming estuaries. They form the deltas like Mahamnadi, Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri. It is consist of the three sections like the Konkan, the central, that is the Kannada, and the Malabar coast. And it is the northern Sirkar, then Karamandal coast, the latter part. And the Lake Chilka is one of the most feature of the eastern coast. This is all about the video today, what we are reading about Peninsula Plateau. But in the next video, we will coming up with the Indian desert, the islands, and about the coastal plains. So have a good time and thank you for watching this video.